What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you all are having a very blessed and wonderful day. Today's video is a fun topic that's going to be regarding a major key point of Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, and that topic is based upon the fact that I don't think the League is actually dead. So very quickly, here's your spoiler warning, because two things are going to happen in this video. One, I'm going to be showing footage of one of the different times I've done the Superman boss fight, just so I can have something playing in the background. So if you don't want to see this boss fight yet, please go ahead and click off. The second thing would be me discussing why I think we are actually being tricked, and there's more to this ongoing story, and this isn't the last time that we see any of these characters. So the reasoning for why I believe the League is alive is simply because these are the biggest heroes on the face of the planet, yet all of their deaths feel very anticlimactic in a sense, right? You have the notion leading up to all of these boss fights that you are essentially going up against somebody that you cannot beat. Under no circumstances should you even stand a chance at winning, but by the grace of God, Lady Luck, Karma, and whoever else in the universe is currently out there watching out over us, you actually manage to kill the Justice League. But here's the issue. We are playing a game where we're seeing fingers get cut off, people's head getting blown up, bodies getting ran through. Another spoiler alert, but then again, if you are watching this far in the video, that means you would have missed the first spoiler alert that I already said beforehand. So if you're still watching, this is your fault. We literally watch Lex get his heart ripped out by the Flash at super speed, and that very much reminded me of what Killua did from Hunter x Hunter. I'm gonna put a clip up here so that y'all can see that, because I'm not gonna put the actual Flash clip up here because I want y'all to see that for yourself. But we get to see all of this gruesomeness, right? And the one thing that we don't get to see is a kill shot on any of the League members after you beat all of them. And there are also clues in each of these encounters that are meant to make you believe, okay, maybe things are not as they seem. Now, after you beat all of them, right, each member of the squad has their moment where they're in complete shock about them actually pulling off the mission, and then you have a couple of bits of dialogue here and there, some speeches, some smack talking, things of that nature. And then all of that points to the confirmation of the kill. That's what we're led to believe, but something is very wrong here. So the issue here is that it's more so treated as a matter of fact instead of actually giving a true confirmation, because all of this technically happens off screen. Take Flash, for example. We don't see the kill shot for Flash on camera. Take Green Lantern. Floyd is the one that kills him, but the camera is pointed at Floyd the whole time, and he's the only thing that we can see when he pulls the trigger, but we don't see the kill shot. And the same thing can be said for both Batman and Superman. This is the issue in a game where gruesome effects and deaths are literally scattered all around, but the deaths regarding the most important characters all happened off screen, and that seems genuinely weird to me. So let's go ahead and jump into the Flash first. So some of the pieces of evidence that we have to back this up, essentially, right, is that if you were paying attention, and it's kind of hard to miss because it literally happens right in your face, Flash's finger gets cut off once the squad takes him into the Batman Museum. Boomerang ends up cutting off the finger by accident, and once he gets transformed or altered by Brainiac, he gets a new thumb. But in the final moments, you can actually see Flash's actual thumb starting to grow back. Now, not only would this be his speed healing here in action, but it was also possibly supercharged by Brainiac. Because while we don't know exactly how he altered their DNA, he in a sense made them a lot stronger than from what they normally were. And when I explain Superman's case, you will understand what I mean. Now, after killing Flash, it would make sense if Brainiac recovered the body, or if Green Lantern or Batman showed up to retrieve him. Because even while dead, his DNA is still very useful. His DNA holds the connection to the Speed Force. It's how I assume we have the infused enemies. Now, what actually happens instead is that Brainiac, for some reason, was trying to dump Flash's body onto Earth 2, and we only ended up there with him. Well, we didn't end up with the Flash directly, but the only reason we ended up on another Earth is because we jumped in trying to get away from a pissed off Green Lantern. The squad had no idea where it was going to send them. Again, dumping the body off on a different world makes absolutely no sense. Secondly, we have Green Lantern. So when you kill Green Lantern, right, Floyd is the one that does the deed, and in another blinking you missing moment, Brainiac snatches the body away so that we can't retrieve it. This happens the second after Superman tackles Wonder Woman. Plus, his Lantern constructs are still around and kicking. Now, when a Lantern dies, the ring normally flies off to find the closest user that is worthy. But there are times where a ring can still function after their user's death, or it can even be used if it's not worn but still in close proximity. The easy answer, however, is that Green Lantern simply isn't dead, if I had to pick one. And also, here's my thing, because I see some people don't know this about the Green Lantern rings. So King Shark is able to pick up the ring and use it to tear a hole in Brainiac's shield. The reason for why he was able to do that is because he has a very high amount of willpower. People with an exceptional amount of willpower can use a power ring that does not belong to them. It's happened before. 2 examples, both Green Arrow and Batman have done it before. Green Arrow was struggling immensely to make simple constructs, and while Batman pretty much, he was struggling too, but he came into being able to do it a lot easier. He couldn't keep it up for long, because here's the thing, Batman actually meets every requirement to be a lantern, but he can't do it because he still has the one thing that a lantern can't have, which is fear. He can't let go of that fear, which is stopping him from making the leap into being a full Green Lantern. Being a Yellow Lantern, however, I believe he's done that before in the comics. That he can definitely do. Now you see that Shark was starting to lose it after he broke the shield, so it's possible he didn't have enough willpower to actually keep himself stable, which is why the squad had the rest of the ring off of him. Now that ring is also MIA. We don't know what happened to it, but it's safe to assume that it possibly went to wherever Green Lantern got sent to, because again, got sent to a different Earth. Now we move on to Batman. The thing is with Batman, right? So this death might be the most controversial one for a whole lot of different reasons, but the death itself, right? When Harley does the deed, when she kills him, this is yet again another death that happens off screen. Harley shoots him in the head. That was bait in order to get the attention of Superman, because they needed a way to draw him out. This was the last time Batman's body was seen. And that right there further adds to the whole aspect of some of these deaths legitimately just don't feel right. Right? Batman and his boss battle was probably the most important one out of all of them, because even though the second half of that boss fight was anticlimactic, I loved the first half of it. I did not like the second half of it. Like, I'm being honest, the second half was mid. That boss fight was the situation where the squad genuinely came together as a team, and Harley herself even said that this is what Batman would have wanted. And with context, it makes sense. I said this in the previous video, and if Batman was completely on the outs like that and he genuinely had no other option, he would want Harley to do what she and the rest of the squad has spent the whole game doing prior, which is the impossible, taking on both the League and Brainiac and somehow managing to come out on top. He would want them to pick up where the League failed, specifically because they've already proven that up until that point, they somehow were the best people in the world suited for that job. Now, I won't sit here and say that like there's no way that this could have never happened, because we've definitely seen Batman pass off the mantle to other people before for various related things. I mean, Arkham Knight literally sees him passing off the mantle of protecting Gotham over to Tim, because he believes that Tim will be fine without him, because Tim is a capable crime fighter. Now, moving over to Superman. Superman is probably, I would say, the most decent example of a massive clue being put in your face but not fully realizing it. Because here's the thing, right? The Boy Scout is out of commission for like a good chunk of the game. You do not see Superman until, I want to say, about chapter 5, maybe, until like maybe chapter 5, the end of chapter 5. He's on the bench for a hot while for most of the game for a very specific reason. Now, once you actually manage to kill Superman, and you do so by getting help from Earth 2 Luthor, who manages to make the gold kryptonite, which is meant to dampen his power so that the squad could actually hurt him, he kind of just falls over and dies. Like, I'm not even joking. So every other League member, Flash, Green Lantern, Batman, they all got a kill shot. It happened off screen, but they all got a kill shot except for Superman. After you knock out his health bar, he pretty much just freaks out and then he falls to the ground in anger. So he's done, and that's the end of that. But the kill again was never confirmed. See, before this, Wonder Woman stuck a huge shard of kryptonite deep into Superman's chest, and he didn't die. Like, I'm talking a shard the size of your forearm. He was heavily damaged, but he didn't die somehow. And that's weird, because while, yeah, kryptonite definitely damages him over time, a kryptonite shard that massive and planted into his chest should have killed him. But it didn't. And the next time you see him, he's fully healed. It's even said in the dialogue that Brainiac messing with his DNA has to be the reason Superman did not die on the spot. That is the only excuse. And when we fight him, there's no killing wound that we can see. You got to chalk it up to pretty much just go kryptonite exposure. Also, not to mention, Superman has that whole Kryptonian rejuvenation process, which I'm sure a lot of people forgot about. So if there's anybody that's definitely coming back to life, it would be Superman. It's just a matter of how long that's actually really going to take, because the rejuvenation process can last a hot minute. But I imagine if anything, he's going to be the last member to come back, because here's how I see all of this happening. So as I've already explained, after you kill each League member, whether you see it or not, Brainiac ends up teleporting their body over to a different Earth to keep them from being recovered. That different Earth comes from when he tried to send Flash's body out to Earth 2 initially, and we hitched along for the ride trying to get away from Green Lantern. And then the same thing happened with all of the other heroes. We still have 12 Brainiacs left that we need to deal with, and the order that we killed them in will be the order that I believe we're going to end up saving them in, right? Again, we still have 12 Brainiacs left across the multiverse that we need to deal with. So how I see this playing out is that as the Brainiac storyline progresses forward, we're going to have to end up pulling off a secondary job, which is saving the Justice League from wherever they are currently trapped in whatever predicament they might be in, because we're the ones who put them there. So they're on different Earths, different worlds, with no way home, battered, beaten, and bruised. And we're realistically the only people outside of the other Brainiacs who possibly know where they are and how to save them. But that's my whole take on the situation. I don't believe they're dead. I just believe that we're being lied to. And I will say that if this is like, if the League ends up coming back, I don't think it will fix the notion of a lot of people having hate over the fact that we're killing these characters, especially Batman. But it can at the very least ease some minds and set up some story opportunities, because then if they come back and you know they come back to the Hall of Justice and everything in that nature, we are now in a working relationship with the people that we just killed. Right, it very much reminds me of the Justice League versus Suicide Squad comic where Maxwell Lord, possessed by Eclipso, so pretty much Eclipso because he had full control, had managed to take over the entire league except for Batman. And so at that point, Batman had recruited everybody from the squad temporarily into the league. There's even a whole panel that says, I believe, "Welcome to the Justice League." And it also wouldn't be the first time that we were led to think the league were dead and others had to take their place in the meantime. It literally happened in, I believe, the last like real big DC Comics event, which was Dark Crisis. And after that, the Justice League permanently disbanded. The Titans, I believe, are currently the world's premier team now. Now, my thoughts on the story as a whole, I enjoyed it. There were definitely a couple of story beats that felt off. There were things I didn't like. Some of it was a little anticlimactic, and I feel like that some of that was for a very specific reason. Some of it definitely could have been done better, I won't lie to you, but overall I definitely enjoyed the story. I'm enjoying the game, and I'm looking forward to the DLC that's dropping, right? I'm looking forward to seeing how this Brainiac story ends up playing out, because I'm a sucker for a good multiverse story if it's done correctly. And with that being said, that's going to go ahead and bring us to the end of the video. Hopefully you all have had a very great and wonderful time here. Let me know down in the comments below, do you think the League's deaths are actually real, or do you think that the deaths are fake out and they're going to be returning at some point in the future in order to help us take out the rest of the Brainiacs, and why? And again, if you've enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and smack the notifications bell so that you will never miss out on any of my future Suicide Squad related content. And I will catch y'all in the moonlight. Peace.